All right, welcome to the session on pronominal suffixes. Pronominal suffixes, and as you know, pronominal suffixes are suffixes of personal pronouns. They're shortened forms of a personal pronouns. They may be attached to the end of a preposition, a particle, a noun, a verb. When it is attached directly to a preposition, they act as objects of the preposition. In other words, it translated objectively. When they are attached to particles, well, there can be various nuances, nuances that can be seen depending on the function of the particles. When it is attached to nouns, they function as possessive only. They function as possessive pronouns. Please remember that. And when they are affixed to verbs, they normally serve as the direct objects. Again, when you attach it to verbs, they are objective value. All right, direct. We said there are two types, type 1 and type 2, and type 1 is found in 11.2 of page Kelly. You will find type 2 in 11.11. There's another paradigm in page Kelly for 11.9 which appears on singular nouns. It has alternate forms of what we call the type 1. All right, that PDF which is taken from the Miles Van Pelt book. It is very helpful to kind of give you a visual aid on what is type 1 and which and how to recognize it compared to type 2, and also that the moment you say type 1, all right, type 2, the moment you say type 2 rather, you know already it only goes on masculine plural nouns and it's much more easier to recognize. The difference between the two is that type 2 has the yod always affixed to it. Please bear that in mind. It will always have the yod affixed to it. Okay, now we saw a couple of examples of prepositions. Prepositions can either take type 1 or it can take type 2 pronominal suffixes. Now that should not bother you because it will always be translated like an object, objective value. Today we're going to look at particles. What are particles? Particles are these innocuous fellows like the sign of the direct object. In other words, like it's an interjection particle is a hinne, behold. But we'll first see the sign of the direct object. The sign of the direct object, if I attach a 3ms. Now the 3ms is a colon vowel. If I attach it, it's going to be o. All right, please bear this in mind. The characteristics of this is it will have a colon vowel in the first syllable or a colon. It can be written effectively as a colon in the first syllable, and it will have no dagesh forte. Why am I saying this? To distinguish it from the preposition. There's another preposition et which will have a kirek as the first vowel of the first syllable, and then of course there's a dagesh forte when you attach, because that's a geminate preposition. All right, so please bear in mind about this. Now, having said this, if this is the form of the sign of the direct object, remember the sign of the direct object is never translated. So you're never translating this part, you're only translating this, and you're translating it like an object. So you're going to translate it, that word, as only him. All right, him. Likewise, let me attach the 3fs. Now I'm reading from 11.7, so you can note there. If I attach the Torah, you will notice this is the 3ms form. This is a 3fs form. You will know this is the this has got a colon vowel in the first syllable, and there is no dagesh forte. You know you are dealing with the sign of the direct object, and you will only, this is untranslated because, and you're only translating the 3fs, which is translated as her. Likewise, 2ms is otkha, which is translated as you. 2fs is otak, which is translated as you. Ot is me. 3mp is otam. Now you will notice Let me just write that for you. Otam. Otam. Alright. This is the alternate form of the 3MP. Now if you're wondering why that was necessary, what is the regular 3MP? Alright, I have to erase this to show you what is it. If ot is the part of the direct object, and if I attach hem to it, you see Hebrew will not allow two consonants to come without a connecting vowel. So they have another form of the type 1, and that is the arm. Alright, the alternate form. Likewise, you will notice that also. So you're translating only the arm, which is the 3MP, and that's translated as a them. Likewise, the alternate form is also seen in the 3FP, where it is otan. So this is the alternate form of hen. Remember, 3FP is hen, but this is the alternate form. Alright, so otan is them, etkem is 2MP your, etken is 2FP your. 1CP is otanu. Otanu is us. Alright, fair enough? Okay. Now, another particle I'm going to introduce you right now is hinne. Hinne. Now, hinne. Hinne. I just want to tell you that hinne ends with the he. Two things happen to he at the end of a word if something is attached. Either it drops off or it becomes a tav. In this particular case, it will be dropping off as you attach a pronominal suffix to it. So 3ms is hinno. This is the 3ms, and this is the first root, second root, the third root is gone, and you have to safely assume in Hebrew that whenever a third root is missing, you could be dealing with a he. So hinne. Hinne. So this is translated like a subject here, not as an objective. Behold is hinne. I. See, behold I. So that's functioning, or behold he. Sorry, it's not. This is a 3ms, so it is a he. All right. Behold he. Likewise, the 2ms is hinne-kha. Behold you. 2fs hinnak. Behold you. Hinneni is 1cs, which is very common in the Hebrew Bible because the speaker is usually the one who's going to be saying hinneni. Somebody calls and the person responds as hinneni. Hinneni. Alright, please bear that in mind. Behold I, 1cs. 3MP again has the alternate form. You will notice it is hinnam. This is the 3MP form, an alternate form, and this is written as behold they. Behold they. 2MP is hinkem, behold you, and then it is hinnenu, which is behold be. Behold be. Alright, please make the note of this. And perhaps I need to at this point also look at the preposition min. A preposition that I just missed out, but I'll just teach you. When min is attached to it, you will have to see it as the addition in some forms. I'll tell you in which all forms. In the 3ms form, in the 3fs form, in the let me see. Yeah, there is some sort of a duplication always happening in the 2ms, the 2fs. Sometimes it's partial duplication, as in the 2ms and the 2fs, 1cs, and all of that. Okay, so what is happening is, for example, with the 1cs, you add a double min, and the 1cs is a ni, correct? This is a 1cs. Now I'll show you how the final form is, then I will explain you what has happened here. Okay, the final form is mimme ni. you will notice there are two Dagesh fortes. There's a Dagesh forte here and there is a Dagesh forte here. Please remember that there are two Dagesh fortes. Now, where has those Dagesh fortes? Now, the first min, this noon has assimilated and become this particular Dagesh forte in the next mem. All right. So that's what you're seeing here. It's become a Dagesh forte in the next mem. This noon has become a Dagesh forte in the noon. And that's what you're seeing here. So that's how you are getting the final form as mimeni. Mimeni. So remember, in the min preposition, there is going to be a partial or a fully duplication. This partial happens in the 2ms. I'll show you a 2ms partial duplication. What basically happens here is mimekha. All right. Here the min plus min plus kha. This is the 2ms form. Here the noon has assimilated as a Dagesh forte here. That's what you are seeing there. But there's after that next noon does not duplicate itself into anything, and that's why we call it a partial duplication out here. All right. There's no assimilation of the second guy out here. So in a sense, he is dropped off. Please bear that in mind. You don't see a Dagesh forte appearing in the kaf at all. So that is what we see in 2ms and the 2fs also. All right. What is happening in the 3mp form? In the 3mp form, it's slightly different. It also happens in the 3mp. Is min is attached to what is the 3mp hem. All right. The noon wants to get assimilated to a he, but he is a guttural. It will reject it. So what happens? A compensatory lengthening takes place from a me to from a kirek to a sere, and the final form is a me hem, which is now me is from, and this is obviously objective, hem is them. Likewise, in the 3fp, you will find min trying to combine with hen, and he wants to assimilate into a Dagesh forte there. He cannot, and so there's compensatory lending from a kirek to a sere, and then you have a me hen. That's the final form from them. Mikhem is much more simpler. A word like the 2mp is min attaches to a chem, which is chem is a 2mp form. This is easily gets into in as a Dagesh forte, so it becomes there's nothing happening except that he becomes a Dagesh forte, all right, assimilated as a Dagesh forte, and it is a chem, mi chem. There's nothing to change, obviously, because he is just assimilated there. Likewise, 2fp is miken, and then you will have again the reduplication in the 1cp. Please bear that in mind. Min is a little awkward guy. Now, I want to get into pronominal suffixes on nouns. Pronominal suffixes in nouns. Now, pronominal suffixes are fixed to the ends of a noun to show possession. To show possession. Please remember that. Now, only nouns in construct state takes a pronominal suffix. So it has to be in construct state to take a pronominal suffix. All right, please. Absolute noun cannot take a pronominal suffix. It can only be taken, only be a construct state to take a pronominal suffix. So when I say this word, devari, in other words, this is the 1cs attached, which is my word. I am getting this word from a combination of the construct devar plus the 1cs kirek yod. Okay, x is any this one. I just the kirek yod has been added there. So this is the construct state of the word davar, and literally you will have to be, it's a combination of that two. So in other words, absolute nouns cannot take a pronominal suffix, it's only the construct noun. If it's a construct noun taking a pronominal suffix, it means that nouns with pronominal suffixes are another type of a construct relationship, another type of construct relationship. Now in this case, a noun with a pronominal suffix is construct to its suffix. All right. So you have a word like bait, beito. Okay, this is batim with the house. This is in construct. This is in a construct relationship with the pronominal suffix. Now, a construct, we said a noun. Now, this is a noun, you have to remember. This is considered definite. This is always considered definite because his house, this is house, his house, this is possessive, so his house. His house is always definite. It's not referring to any house, it's particularly his house. Now, this can alternately be translated as house of his, to show the construct relationship. But that's bad English, so we say his house as a possessive. All right. So remember one thing, that a pronominal with a noun with the pronominal suffix is in construct to his suffix, and the suffix will act as the absolute in the phrase. So this is acting as the absolute. All right. Remember, this is the construct. This particular suffix is acting as the absolute in the phrase. So in a sense, the construct is not standing alone at all. All right. It has a absolute to back it up from there. Except that it's not an absolute noun, it is a pronoun. All right, it is a pronoun standing instead of a noun. Remember, a construct noun with a pronominal suffix is always treated definite, even though it does not take a definite article. Remember, I always said that construct nouns can never take a definite article. It is only the absolute noun can take. Construct nouns will never take. So all these will, whenever a construct noun has a pronominal suffix, it is considered definite because, for example, my hands. All right. Or in other words, the construct relationship is hands of mine. Literally, it's that. It's going to be yadi. All right. Yadi. This is the 1 CS form, and yad is the hand in construct. All right. So this is considered the absolute. This is in the construct state. Hands of mine. Hand of mine. Okay. This is singular, so I'm going to write my hand of mine. Okay. It's not plural, because if it's plural, then it's a dual ending. I have to add a stereo. Okay. Now, let's look at the singular form. So my hand of mine, yadi. So what is happening here? It is considered definite simply because it's referring to my hand. It really means the hand of mine. It's referring to a specific pair of hands, not just any pair. And therefore, if you're going to put any attributive adjective after this, there's going to be an adjective. My gadol hand, say gadol hand. Okay, you'll have to put a definite article before it if it has to be attributive. All right, because even though this does not take a definite article, it is considered definite because it has a pronominal suffixes. Once again, a noun is considered definite in three circumstances. A noun is considered definite in three circumstances. One, it has a definite article. A definite article is there. All right. So you have the he, the patak, and the dagesh forte. The second is if it is a name. Okay. If it is a name. All right. The third is if it has a pronominal suffix. These are the three conditions when a noun is considered definite. Please remember that. Okay. Now, singular nouns will always take type 1. Please remember, singular nouns, whether it's masculine or female, will always take type 1. Singular nouns, whether it's masculine or feminine, will always take type 1. And remember, you're attaching it to the construct form. So let me look at the word coal. Now, in the absolute state, this monosyllable coal is coal, and in the construct state also it's coal because it has an unchangeable long vowel which will not change even in the construct. So if I'm adding a 3ms to it, okay, so this is the word This is a construct state and this is in the absolute state. So this literally means, now it's definite, the voice of his. Alright, that's literally how it is. But you're going to translate it possessively. So this is literally his voice. Okay, please don't translate it as the voice of his. It's simply his voice. You don't have to write the, because that's bad English. You don't say the, his voice and all that. Okay, it's understood that you're dealing with something very different, his voice. If I add a 3FS form, this is 11.10, 3FS form, call R, this is the construct, and you add, so this is her, and this is voice, so it's her voice. All right. Just a note, in this 11.10, you will notice again the alternate. In the 3MP, you have the alternate form. You have a call, and Hebrew won't allow you to write call. The regular one is him, like that. The alternate form will appear in some form. Here it is an arm. Okay, it is an arm. Call arm. Likewise, the 3FP is a call an. This is an alternate form. An is there, and this is voice. So it's possessive, their voice. What is most important is you will have to translate it as possessive. Anything with nouns. Okay, this is a masculine one. I'll show you a feminine one. A feminine one is going to be taken from the word Torah. Now, Torah is feminine simply because it ends with a comet he. Now, this is the absolute state. I have to make it into a construct state. Then only it can accept the. Now, how you do that? Torah. This comet he will become a tau, and this will become a shortened one because it's an accented, closed accented syllable. Okay, so now I can attach the 1CS. Okay, so let me attach the. Sorry, not 1CS, the 3MS, and of course there's vocalic changes which is going to take place, and this become a comets. Okay, so this is 3MS, and this is laws. This is law. This is singular still. So this is his law again. All right, please remember this is his law. Likewise, I'll show you another one. I'm going to choose the 2MP. The 2MP. Again, in the construct is being added to the 2MP form. Torah. There's a method here, so which means the next. This is a vocal sheva. Torah. Torah tekem. Torah tekem. Torah tekem. Torah tekem. All right. Torah tekem. Okay. So if you break the syllable, it is like that. Torah tekem. Torah tekem. Again, please remember. This is the law, and this is your. So you're translating possessively as your law. Please remember that. Now, pronominal suffixes for plural nouns, please remember, will only take type 2. Plural nouns, whether it's masculine or if it is feminine, will only take type 2. That means expect the yod always. Always. It can never take type 1. Never. So, let me show you an example. Again, an example like... I'll show you two examples here. Torot. Torot. Now this is the plural of Torah, alright? And again, the absolute and the construct of this is the same, alright? Torot is the absolute form also and the construct form because it has two unchangeable long vowels, alright? Now you're going to add, say, his laws. So you're going to add the type 2. See, the vav is there and the yod is there. The vav is there and the yod is there, okay? Again, what is happening here is this is a unit. Okay, that is functioning as a unit there. So that is his, and this is laws. Okay, this is type 2. Remember, this is sorry, this is type 2 which has come here. Let me show you another one. 3FS form. 3FS form. The 3FS form. The 3FS is Toro Teha. All right. Again, this is the type 2 form. It's got a very unique yod there. This is type 2. So this is laws. Remember, don't forget it's plural. Laws. And this is her. So it's her laws. Her laws. Next one. I hope in the previous one, I hope I had written laws, because if I haven't, it should be his laws. Okay. What about the next one? Your laws. The 2MS is Toro Te Ka. The moment you see a ka, you know it's a 2MS you're dealing with, and you see a yod here. What is happening here? It is a type 2 you're dealing with. This is laws, it is plural, and this is going to be your possessive. Okay, please remember that. That's all you need to remember. Let me give you another one. Banim. This was feminine. I'll give you a masculine one also. Banim is sons, right? Banim. All right. How do you make it into a construct? Because only constructs can get it. You turn that into a sereyod. Remember, the moment you see the sereyod, and then this is in an propretonic. This one, there's going to be a propretonic reduction taking place. So that's the one. Okay. I want to attach obviously this is a plural. Plurals will only take type 2, T2. All right. So it adds the yod and this yod to it, and this becomes a garments. Okay, that's the final form. So this is Berna is Ben. This is the only way to figure out. This is a type 2. This is the only way to figure out that because it's a type 2, you're dealing with a plural. Please remember that. You don't look at Ben and say, singular. No, you have a type 2 attached to it. And type 2 can only go with plural nouns. So you're going to translate possessively. This is his, and this is again sons. All right. Let me show you another one. Let me show you, 2MP. 2MP, and this is all taken from 11.13. 2MP is Benekem. All right. Again, you will notice this is the type 2. This is the type 2. Don't get thinking, it's Ben, it's singular. No, actually, type 2 is only attached to a plural noun, and therefore this is sons, and this is your sons. Okay. A note of advice. When you're dealing with av, a word like av in its it's in the absolute state. In its construct state, it's going to be abi. So when this is, by the way, this is singular. All right, this is abi is singular, masculine singular construct. So if you're going to attach the 3MS form, it's going to be like this. So you might look at the yod and think it's type 2 when actually it is not. All right, this is still a masculine singular construct. It is taking type 1. It's an irregular. It can pull you off because its construct form itself has a yod attached to it. All right, please bear that in mind. It has a yod attached to it in the construct. So this yod might mislead you into thinking that this yod is the type 2 one, but actually it is not. For example, let me give you another example. This is only the type 1 pronominal suffix. This is a part of the construct. Okay, this is father, singular. Okay, and this is her. So it's her father. Bear this in mind when it comes to av, ak, those kind of words. All right, this is pretty much what it is. Okay, let me do one yad. Yad is a simple word. Now this is not plural, so yad in the singular, if it has to take, it will be yado. This is his, and this is hand, which is good. Now yad in the, this is singular, all right, with the pronominal suffix. It takes type 1. But in the plural, what is the plural of yad? It's the dual form yadim. Okay, it's the dual ya, accented patak, yod, im. All right, and the dual form, to make it into a construct, it goes the same way. It is also a sereyod, and here it kind of there's a volatilization to become this. Now this is the dual state. Now the duals only can be attached to the type 2, and I am going to attach the 3fs. I'm going to attach, and here the type form will be eha. So this is the, in that sense, a dual. It's reminding you that it is it's reminding you that it is plural. It is reminding you that it's type 2, and you see yad. The moment, don't think it's singular, it's actually attached with the type 2, and therefore it's plural, and therefore you would say as her hands. Please look at that. Okay, all right, look at the other examples also, and you'll just do fine. Thank you so much.